Hey, it's Scott with EP Golf. I'm here with our newest advisory board member, Dr. Jared Wiskind. Dr. Wiskind, welcome to EP Golf, and why don't you tell everybody what it is that you do?
I am a chiropractor. Within the chiropractic scope, I'm also a certified chiropractic sports practitioner. I'm also certified in kinesiotaping, and I'm certified in the Groston soft tissue technique, which I use with a lot of my clients and athletes.
Great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the services that you offer and the things the different types of therapy and stuff that you do, and how that benefits not only your professional athlete, but your recreational type, weekend warrior type guys, as well as just regular people who are looking to be healthy.
Certainly. We do a lot of biomechanics. To me, chiropractic is very much about biomechanics, how the body works, and how we can improve that efficiency with our athletes, whether they be weekend warriors or professional athletes.
Okay, great. How, specifically, it may be from somebody you've worked with, or some certain things that you might see if there's a trend or something very common with your recreational golfers. I know fitness is a big issue for a lot of people. They just need to get in better shape and stuff like that. But you often hear about things like persistent lower back pain, shoulder issues, hip issues. Is there anything that you see, any issues that are kind of common with that type of person, and what are some simple things that you would do to correct when working with that person?
To me, a huge thing that I see within my office, from amateur golfer all the way up to high-level golfers, the pros, is flexibility. I think flexibility is one of those lost arts. It's kind of like the jump shot in basketball. It's just something that's not really promoted in practice anymore. And obviously, if the body is not flexible, if the muscles are not conditioned, the ability to practice whatever sport it might be, whether it's golf, weight training, football, basketball, decreases as that flexibility decreases.
So essentially, for sport, for golf, or weightlifting, or any sport really, the athlete or the participant has certain range of motion that they need to be able to attain in order to have optimal sporting form. And with a reduction in that range of motion due to either inactivity, not training, just letting the body get out of whack, so to speak, that's going to be a governor or limit their ability to perform in whatever their sport is, correct?
Certainly. What I try and do is combine the muscle and the joint. Obviously, the two are playing off of one another. And so what I want to do is make sure that juncture, the joint and the muscle are working at peak performance. And so if I can do that for my client, we should see improvements in whatever sport that they're doing.
So it's more than just cracking backs, right?
Yes, it's more than just cracking backs. At least in our office it is.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the spine. I mean, obviously it's our spinal cord is very important, as it sends the nervous signals to the body to create movement via the brain and the nervous system. How important is back health and the things that you do through chiropractic? Obviously not for just athletes alone, but for just general health and wellness.
The way I look at it is the spinal cord, like you're talking about, that nerve transference it's like a light bulb. If you're expecting 100 watts of light, but the light bulb isn't screwed in all the way and you're only getting 75 watts, well, there's a gap there. And so you're asking your body for 100%, but you're only getting 75%. So you're going out onto the field and expecting to give 100%, but you're physically only able to actually give 75%. You may not even notice that 25% is gone. So what I try and do in my office is make sure we screw in that light bulb as tight as we can, so we can get as close to the maximum capacity as we can, whatever that may be. Not everybody's going to be able to be at 100%, but if we can get you to 95, and that's your maximum capacity, then again, we should see improvements in game performance.
And that's a great point too, because I think that people just get accustomed to dealing with pain or dealing with an improper position, and they just, because it's not totally debilitating, they just learn how to function with it or through it, and not even realize that something like that could be messing up their biomechanics or their ability to, follow through in a golf swing, or even, walk. I mean, somebody's gait might be different, due to something like that. And, how our structure is affected from the ground up, they just kind of adapt to it. and that, like Dr. Pack likes to talk about, aligning your vertical axis.
Yes.
And how it starts from the ground up, but you just get so used to being off kilter regardless of what the issue is, you just learn how to work through it and not even think what an impact that is having on your performance. So, I mean, would you say that by, making these minor adjustments with the therapeutic treatments and the health adjustments, the flexibility training, the strength training, all that stuff, that's the type of stuff that can bring about an almost instantaneous improvement in what you're doing.
Certainly.
At a couple degrees range of motion, you get more power, or you increase your body's ability to produce power. You fix the vertical alignment, you're playing from a more perfect position. And I think that's something that you see particularly in golf, where people want to run out and they want to buy the newest club, or they want it's all about the technology of the implement and not what is propelling that implement.
Certainly. They may be asking their body to do something that their body simply can't do from a biomechanical standpoint, from a flexibility standpoint, from a strength standpoint, and that's why all of us work together so well, because it's not necessarily always a chiropractic problem, it's not necessarily always a physical strength problem, it's not necessarily always an alignment problem. Sometimes it's all three, sometimes it's multifaceted, and what we try and do is kind of get to the bottom of that, and make sure that we get to the root cause of what the why you're not getting that maximum capacity, and why you're not getting the results that you want out in the field, and change that so you can.
And that's a great point, and that's essentially what we're trying to do through EP Golf, is not just talk about golf fitness, golf performance, but take all these issues and show how when you address them, how there's a synergy between all this stuff, which is why we're trying to bring you and other experts in the respective fields to EP Golf, so that we can provide that synergy from the fitness and the performance aspect, so that the people that come to the site to get information through our articles, our videos, or whatever, so they're getting information on every single aspect, and not just the newest club or the best equipment, but how everything works together from the physiology all the way down to the implement. And when everything is at the top of its game, they're going to play their best.
They are going to play better. Unfortunately, pain is typically the last thing to show up. Pain was the first thing to show up. We'd heal much faster.
Well, and that was pain too, because everybody's got their own tolerance.
Everybody's got their own tolerance.
I'm a sissy. A 1 for most people is like a 10 for me. A 5 for you might be. So I mean, what is? There is that issue that, again, people just get used to being in pain, or they say, well, it's part of the game. I've just got to deal with it. Like I heard a while back, there was a statistic. I don't know how true this is, but something along the lines of all PGA golfers are typically about 30% of all PGA golfers are typically playing with some type of back injury.
Right. And if they're not playing with a back injury, they're playing with a shoulder injury or a wrist injury, or they're playing, with multiple injuries. So yeah, I mean, I could certainly believe that those stats.
Well, is there anything that you'd like to leave the viewers or people that are coming to the EP Golf site? Any information or anything you wanna share before we sign out for the day?
I think that success in any sport is not just the sport training anymore. There's so much more that goes into success behind the scenes of what you see out there, those professional golfers. Us as a team and as a synergy can do so much for athletes from high school and lower to high school and higher. We can be an asset to take that person to the next level, whatever that may be. Sometimes that is pro. I have several golfers who I work with whose their ambition is to be on the pro tour. But sometimes I just have a golfer who wants to shave a couple strokes off their score, and that's okay too. And we can work with those people and help them.
Great. Well, I just want to say thanks again, Dr. Wiskind. We look forward to having you with the EP Golf team and part of the advisory board. So be sure to head over to www.ep-golf.com to check out our articles and blogs, and all of our contributors, including Dr. Wiskind, will be sharing information about their specific services and how it can help you improve your golf game. Thanks.
Thank you.